All right, are we live? Hey, everybody, Economic Ninja here. Something massive is happening right now, and most people don't know how to make money from it. And it sounds funny, I was looking for news stories, and all I did was I popped up a specific topic. And there's so many headlines, it's worth just going over the headlines to tell you about this. You see, in the last 4 years, we've seen all this crazy stuff happen in our government, and I felt very disheartened, or for lack of better terms, horrible about where our country is going. And now that Trump is in, a lot of people, I think, have this delusion. And it's not a derangement syndrome. It's this delusion that everything's going to be better. But you have to understand that Trump knows, and a lot of very intelligent people in the White House know, and wealthy people know, that you can't just all of a sudden turn on a light switch and create so much euphoria that the buying over exceeds the bad times. All right. So the past 4 years, people stopped paying their credit card bills, homeowners insurance, all kinds of things, right? Because they didn't have the money. Inflation just took them. One of those things they didn't pay is their property taxes. And around the country, in the last 8 months, counties all across the country have started dumping properties on the auction block for tax liens and tax deeds. Insane amounts, because they were told by the government that they were not allowed to do that, while Biden tried to pretend that the economy was strong. All right, guys, seriously, I don't know how to put this any better. I have students right now that are out there making 18 to 38%, because it's supposed to be 36 is the highest paying county in the country, but he was able to get 38% because of some fines. But I have students right now crushing it in tax liens. So I'm going to start reading you these headlines. We're going to talk about them and give you some really incredible ways to make money. But what I'm going to do is, I've never done this, and people asked me, because I was selling them as a bundle, the tax lien and tax deed. We have put the Tax Lien Pro course on a blowout sale for $199. The link's down below if you want to see it, because normally that package was between $400 and $500. But this way you could start getting into tax liens right now and then build up enough money. And if you want to move into deeds, and I highly suggest people start with liens, you could do it that way. Okay. So the link's down below. It's good for, I think, a little over a day. All right, here we go. So Berkeley County announces 2024 tax delinquent sale information. Now, that's not usually a out of the ordinary thing. Counties all around the nation put these tax delinquent sales or tax lien sales in the paper, right? And so that makes news. But check this out. This is out of Scranton Times. County adopts ordinance imposing fee on tax sheriff sale purchases to fight the blight. So let's go into that a little bit, because this is very interesting, because all around the country, counties are having to, because they have so many properties that they're trying to list to sell, there are not enough investors to soak them up. I know it sounds crazy, but one of my coaches, Matt, went to a tax delinquent sale down in Parker, Arizona, and there are him and 2 other people. There's only 3 people in the entire room for over 50 properties for auction. There are not enough investors to buy these. So it says here, Lackawanna County commissioners recently adopted an ordinance that adds a fee to the purchase price of properties sold at tax and sheriff sales. A new revenue stream officials will use to battle blight in local communities. It's a $250 fee paid by property purchasers, will be deposited into a demolition and rehabilitation fund administered by the Lackawanna County Land Bank. All right, so let me explain this, because this is incredible news. Now, if you're a tax lien or tax deed investor, you may go, well, that's not, exciting. This is tax deeds. I pay an extra $250. Well, you are getting the property for probably around 10 cents on the dollar. So who cares about the $250? All right. So let's get away from a poverty mindset. What I want to explain to you is this proves how many properties are going on the auction block, where a county goes, whoa, if we just charge $250 as a fee for somebody buying one of these properties for 10 cents on the dollar, we'll make so much money, and we'll be able to put that towards rehabilitation in these bad areas of our county. That's how many properties are for sale right now. And the thing is most people go and buy properties from real estate agents that tell you the market's either, it's always hot or it's always cold, depending on if you want to buy or sell. All right. I don't like that. There's cycles in real estate. And this one This is your big granddaddy cycle of real estate. I hope you understand that. This we have not seen this many tax liens and tax deeds going on the auction block since around 2010. And it's only going to get better over the next year and a half to 2 years. And so the time is now to get started. And people ask me this all the time. How much does it cost to buy a tax lien? Well, all you're doing is you're paying somebody's delinquent property taxes. Some people have property tax bills that are $250. A lot of them are actually. And so I have students that went out and bought a bunch of small ones, like I say, to start small, $250, and they got a check 2-3 weeks later for $256 plus the interest owed. And in the counties they're in, they're getting anywhere between 28 and 36% on their money. Now, a lot of people would say, well, Ninja, that's not a lot of money. I got a lot more money. Well, good news. There are tax delinquent taxes that are $10,000 all the way up to $150,000, depending on how big the property is. And when you're paying this, the county actually guarantees you're going to get paid. And you want to know why I can say guaranteed? Think about this. The county says this: if you'll pay someone's taxes through the county, let's say it's $1,000 tax bill. You go, okay. And the county goes, okay, now we have a 2-year redemption period. So that means that if you pay their taxes today for $1,000, you don't, most counties do not force you, 99% of the counties out there do not force you to pay subsequent tax bills, right? So let's say they keep missing those tax bills and you just paid their bill for the current month and current year, right? So 2 years later from now, if you have not been paid back plus your interest, you file a 1-page document and they turn around, they go, yep, you bought that tax lien. It's now 2 years old. So now we're sending the owner a notice and we're putting this we're sending this out to an auction and it's going to sell. And the opening bid is for what is owed on the property for the taxes. So let's say the person racked up, 6 years or 6 quarters, or whatever you want to say it, $6,000 of unpaid taxes in that 2 years. That's the starting bid. So if the property is worth 20 grand, or if it's worth $200,000 or $1 million, it's going on the auction block for $6,000. That's the opening bid. So to say that it's guaranteed that someone's going to buy it, and if nobody shows up to buy it, they're going to come and you go, I'll buy it. I'll buy it for the 6 grand. And now you've got it. That's why they say it's guaranteed, because the county says if they do not pay in a certain amount of time, you're going to get your money because it's going to a tax sale and someone's going to buy it. And there's properties like this all around the country. People have been telling me all the time, they're like, oh, Ninja, you don't know what it's like. I'm on a fixed income. I'm like, well, then I guess you don't know what it's like to work 7 days a week, for the last 15 years, because I've taken about 28 days off in the last 15 years. That's not a joke. If you ever talk to my wife, ask her. Between being a firefighter and owning all these businesses, I work. And everyone's got an excuse, right? Well, here's an opportunity to get into a type of real estate investing that nobody understands. Nobody gets. Like 1% of real estate investors have ever completed a tax lien or a tax deed sale. And it's simply because the barrier to entry is usually thousands of dollars. You go online and they'll tease you for like a $50 course, but that's a 1 or 2 hour thing that teaches you nothing. And they say, oh, the course is actually $5 grand. Oh, it's actually 10 grand. And that pisses me off. So I took all those courses and I made a better one, and it's down below if you want it for $200, because that's what I want to do. I want to give you no excuses. So it says here, Monroe County, this is a perfect one. Monroe County holds its first tax sale in 3 years on Tuesday. This is what I'm talking about. All of the counties, this is out of the Web Central for Montana. Ads blocked. All right, cool. Monroe County. Okay. Web Central for MonroeCounty.net. It says here, the tax sale was held at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, March 4th, on the Monroe County Courthouse steps as advertised. But when the time arrived, there were only 14 parcels to be auctioned off rather than the 100+ parcels that had shown property taxes delinquent at least 2 years when the commissioner, Lori Andrews, began the process of notifying the owners that the property would be auctioned if the outstanding taxes weren't paid. So this is a perfect example. Here's a county that has not held a tax sale for 3 years because of the Biden administration. They told you, do not do it. Right? State governments have also been pressuring these county governments. Do not do it. We'll give you short-term loans to get by, to pay your firefighters, your police, do your road work, right? And so they turn around and they've got 100 properties and they go, okay, we're auctioning them. And then all of a sudden, out of 100 plus properties, only 14 people, I don't have enough fingers for that, only 14 people said, no, I ain't paying. And they went to auction. See, this system is set up to be actually incredibly fair for the homeowner, because what happens is, rather than the county just coming and taking your property for not paying taxes, they let other people pay your taxes for you. And then you have a certain amount of time, either 6 months or 2 years or 3 years. Every county is different. Every state is different. I teach that in the class, right? I give you all the tools you need to succeed in this. But then what happens is you say, hey, you got to pay this person back, but you're paying, they don't know you paid for it. They're just paying the county, and the county issues you a check plus all of the amount owed. I mean, your original amount that you paid plus all your interest and your fines. This is very important that people understand how to do this. If you want to be a real estate investor, this is, no joke, the greatest real estate investing hack ever. But it only comes, they're always happening. Tax sales are always happening until COVID happened and they shut them down, right? But tax sales are happening a lot, but there are these cycles like 2008 to 2011 where there was massive amounts of them. And then there was a lot of them in 2015, and then they tapered off again. And now we're getting this big thing. So the question is, are you ready to do something about it? I mean, have you ever wanted to invest in this stuff, but you've heard about it, but you don't know how to do it? Type 1 if that's you. Like, I've heard about that stuff, but it seems too complicated. I'm not joking. It's not complicated. You could register online from your house in your pajamas and bid on properties. You just need to learn how to find the auctions, how to bid, how to do your due diligence, how to determine which one is going to pay you the fastest, which one's not, and then how to there's so much to it, but it's not hard. I know it sounds crazy. It's all put in the one course for you. So if you want it, the link's down below. It's $199. And if then go get your first couple wins. And if you want to move into deeds and learn about how to buy the properties outright right away at an auction, then you could buy that course. All right. But I'm making this easy for you. That's the whole point. It should be easy. You do things on the computer, you buy things, you get checks in the mail, you make money. That's it. I'm going to let you guys go because I don't want to go too much longer, but hopefully this sort of makes sense why this is a big opportunity. All right. Links down below. Hopefully you have a great day. We just got some powder, so I'm going skiing. The Economic Ninja is out.